Hey everybody, Ashwin here. Just want to check in and say hi. Going to be out for a month. We're going to Virginia. Going to do the snowbird thing for about 4 weeks. Going to Roanoke, Virginia, in the southwestern part. Hoping to get some warm weather and some good mountain biking. But I can't take my shop with me, so I'll be shut down for a while. I was really hoping to get one out the door before I left, but I was having a lot of challenges with this one, a lot of challenges with just momentum, kind of building momentum, keeping it, a lot of starts and stops. It's really tough to get going that way for me. I think really I just need to be more diligent and just set more of a schedule, but kind of see it like activation energy and cellular growth. You have to reach a certain, I have to reach a certain point and then I start really flowing along. But if I got to stop and restart, it's just that much harder to get going again. This one had just given me problems from day one, and now it's just reached the point where I'm just going to make it a shop knife. But I really like to finish them all the way through because it forces me to practice and go through every one of the steps and just get that one more repetition in. It really the problems really started when I was doing the bolsters. I spot weld them on and I did them, and then I go to put it together and it turns out I had put the bolster on the wrong side. And then I was going to working on the caulking, and I do that on what's called a Kennedy jig. This is a hand-me-down from my buddy Mike Rothman, and it's really nice. The value of it is you don't have to take the knife, put it together, take it apart every time. To check your clocking, you put it under tension on this, and it tells you, when you're high or low, and you can really clock with some accuracy. However, it's dependent on you getting the hole position correct. And I use a liner to get my 3 holes in, but I don't know, something the way I'm doing it isn't right, and I was getting incorrect readings when I was on this. Then I put the knife together, and then I was off. And then thankfully, I was able to recover and get myself back. But again, that just takes the wind out of your sails. And then I was doing my grinding and doing pretty well, but then just kind of took a divot into the blade, and I don't think this one's going to be able to get sanded out, so I'm just gonna finish it out. I think one of my issues, something I'm learning is, when I'm on the grinder, moving it along, always have to be moving. You hear people in sales say ABS, always be selling. I think for me, I got to say ABM, always be moving, because I was trying to walk the grind up in the front here, and I was so hyper focused on that, I was just dwelling on one spot, and then the belt was cutting in. So, lessons learned. That one's one I just keep repeating over and over again. But I got a chance to practice a different nail nick on here, and I think it came out really neat. This is paper micarta, black paper micarta. I was going to stay away from it for a little bit because it is tough for me to work with, tough to finish. But I had a good customer, wanted one, so I got some tips from some other makers about how to hand finish it and how to work it. So that may give me a good chance to practice on that. So I'm going to pause, change the camera angle, and show you some of the issues that I'm hoping to get right on the next one. All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the inside of the knife. It's always fun to see a little X-ray vision, what's inside of it. Spear point, long pull. Really happy with the way this long pull came out. This is, I scanned this from a Mayer and Grosch knife. It's got the ramped interior to it, but I think that came out really nicely. Here's that divot right there. You can see where I was dwelling on the blade, and that I don't think can really sand it out. It's getting a little too thin there to begin with. So of course that's one thing I need to really work on. Another thing bothered me about it, I think I got a little, way too narrow right here when I was doing the profile of the liner. I really like it just to barely cover that. I think, I've seen plenty of knives, old knives that have that, but I would like to get a little closer there. And then I think I'd mentioned in the last video, I kind of overcompensated a little bit for the placement of this hole. And I was concerned about potential for blade wrap. And I think definitely risk here. I have a little bit of meat I can take off there, and I'll be all right. But in clocking, ideally this should have been just barely coming down, maybe right there. I think that would have looked really nice. Right there with the profile going right in the handle. So I think in the next couple ones I'll be able to do better there. But it's good practice. And then this will make a fun little shop knife. Just hanging around the shop. Anyways, appreciate it very much. I'll talk to you guys later. We'll see if I do some videos. I was thinking about doing some maybe on the computer, designing some stuff for the laser or drawing. But I hope you guys have a great night, and talk to you guys soon.